Hello everyone and welcome back to GDQ Hotfix. I am Helix and you are now watching a Parallel Universe, the show about community-created content. We're talking fan games, we're talking mods, even things like randomizers and bingo. Limey actually put together this episode but is unfortunately not feeling well, so I am stepping in to host as I do co-host the show. But yeah, with that, I see a lot of you in chat are already excited about it. We have a Toontown showcase, and Lori D. Bunnykins is here to play a bunch of Toontown. So, Lori, how you doing?
I love Toontown. I am so unbelievably excited for this show. I've been playing the original Toontown since 2007, so I'm happy to show off what this community has been doing 11 and a half years after the original game shut down. That's a wild number to say, but we're still here. So, hello everybody. My name is Lori D. Bunnykins, and welcome to Toontown the Grindworks. This came out just at the start of the month, so it's pretty fresh. And it is a completely single-player roguelike based off of the MMORPG. One important thing I want to note before we start is there was an update released for this game today. I am not playing on it. There are a few things that have been changed between versions, but the important thing to note is, so A, not every strat I'm going to be doing in this video is going to work if you install the game right now. However, I would still very much recommend installing the game right now. It is a lot of fun. The other thing I want to bring up, though, is there was a new song composed for the version that released today. And I want to thank Evan and also the entire dev team in general. For this showcase, have a version of the game that plays exactly like 1.0.2, but has the new track from today's update. So you guys will be able to hear that. The composer did awesome on it. I've already heard it in game, and it goes hard as heck. But gameplay-wise, I may show you a few secret things that you might not be able to do anymore. So I'm really excited. With that, I would also like to introduce my commentator, Swim. How are you doing?
Hello, hi, I'm good. I am a veteran of Toontown Online. I was there when it shut down. I've been playing Rewritten as my main server ever since, and I have been a Grindworks speedrunner, strat hunter, and found a couple things that Lori's definitely going to be using on version 1.0.2.
Yeah. So today we are going to be playing, I think, both of our favorite character. Yeah. As you can see, there are a lot of different characters that have a lot of different effects that are a little bit difficult to explain if you've never played Toontown before, but I'm going to try my best to make this a learning experience if you haven't, and make sure you can follow along. Today we're going to be playing as Clerk Clara, because I think in the earlier parts of the game, she is fairly consistent to not get stuck in positions where you are sad all the time. And time is going to start when I hit the play button, which will be in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, good luck.
Thank you. So, as I mentioned, Toontown the Grindworks is a roguelike based off of the original Toontown. So the best place to start with explaining this game is explaining the original Toontown. Toontown is an MMORPG that was originally released by Disney in 2003 that focuses on toons, a species of happy-go-lucky, fun-loving animals, fighting the cogs, which are robots that are meant to represent the corporate soul-crushing nature of capitalism.
Yeah, anti-capitalism game. Let's go.
I love anti-capitalism game. In this game, we battle the cogs using gags. We play jokes on them, and they hate fun so much it physically damages them. Similarly, our health in the bottom left is known as our laugh meter. And our laugh meter, as it goes down, we get less happy, therefore we get less healthy. And if we die, we go sad. We're not going to do that, hopefully.
One thing worth mentioning is the way that this game works using the different gags. They all have different abilities. Clara starts primarily with Trap and Lure, which works simultaneously with each other. You can trap a cog and then lure them into it to do more damage. You can also just lure a cog, which has one of two effects in this game. It either reduces their damage or it stuns them for a turn. Lori is specifically here targeting the flunky cogs because they can split off by mitosis and create another version of themselves into the fight. It's not a joke, it is called cog mitosis. So she's targeting those specifically first, just to get them out of the way and make the fight a little bit faster for herself and a little bit easier at the same time.
So yeah, I've been using Trap and Lure a lot. As I mentioned, they synergize, and that actually ties into one of Clara's specific abilities. On top of her starting with 2 actions per turn, when every other character only starts with 1 when you start a new run, she gets stat boosts every time she successfully trapped a cog that reset at the start of each floor. So it's not really a long-term game, but we can get short-term buffs to our stats that can be really nice. We can also get a lot of items to upgrade our stats. This works in 2 ways. We can get either like equipable items, or sometimes we get these candies that just purely update or just like upgrade the stats. But a lot of the time from these treasure chests, what we're also going to be getting is jelly beans, which is our currency, and gag frames, which is how we level up our gag tracks into stronger gags throughout the run, and how we end up like taking on progressively stronger and stronger enemies. I got another lore track here, which is really nice. The other 2 gag tracks I have used so far in this run that I have already started gaining access to are Throw and Drop. Throw and Drop are both some of the higher, like, no-nonsense damage dealers in this game. Pretty much with Throw, I can throw a gag at a cog and it just does straight damage and also applies a little bit of self-heal. Drop does a little bit more damage and also applies a debuff called Aftershock that does damage to a cog at the end of the round based on how much damage they took. So 2 pretty good no-nonsense damage dealers, but what's especially good about Throw is with Throw, I can take advantage of Lure's knockback damage. When I lure a cog and then hit it with either Throw or Squirt, it'll take bonus damage depending on the type of lure I used. And with Clara starting with lure, one of the best things to get early is a way to take advantage of that knockback damage, because I can start taking like higher level cogs down so much quicker.
One thing for
sorry,
dedicated Toontown fans is that this game operates differently than having the normal gag pouch where you have a limited number of each gag. In this game, since it's a roguelike and they didn't really want to do like a restock in that way, you have points per track. The higher tier item you use or gag you use, the more it costs in terms of points. You start with a default of 10, you can upgrade it over time with getting specific items.
I'm not gonna buy anything.
You did also just get your first equipable item, so we should probably talk about those now.
Oh yes, so I have this, so there are equipable items that you can wear throughout the run. You can see me wearing this hat. Before I go into this boss encounter, I'll actually take a second to explain it because the in-game timer is stopped while I'm paused. On top of these equipable items, this one in particular is very good. I'll explain it once we get into another fight. I have these toon tasks on the left, and you can also see my stats on the right. The toon tasks are important because the little thing in the bubble in the top right is the reward I get for clearing the task. And here we have a pretty good spread of the things you can get. It's kind of similar to the loot pool you'll get from a treasure chest, except you won't usually get equipable items. So if we ever get a general completion task, like a 12 cogs or a specific suit type, that's usually good. The best rewards we can get is usually gag training frames, which I do have one in the top right. Unfortunately, it is stuck to a specific cog, which is not very commonly completed fast. So this is like a passive way throughout the run that I can buff myself that is really important to learn to take advantage of in this game, because if you don't get good at making sure your tasks are worthwhile, it can be kind of difficult to like get super good builds. So there's like a lot to like keep track of while you're doing this run. And at the end of every floor, we have a boss encounter. I don't believe we've mentioned yet, but there are 4 cog types, each representing different parts of the business corporate ladder, yada yada. There are sell bots, cash bots, law bots, and boss bots. Each cog type has their own dungeon. So this is the sell bot factory. And then each dungeon has its own boss encounter, and there are 2 for each floor. There's one that plays like a traditional turn-based fight, and one that plays like an action sequence like this one. There is actually a skip I can do in this one. However, Cleric Clara starts with a slightly lower speed stat than the other characters, and I don't know if I feel good about my speed stat to do the little skip in this one, so I'm gonna just take it.
I think the minimum is 0.9 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not
future
100%
reference,
sure.
but
that's nice.
Drop up and super damage up. Yeah, those candies you get buff your stats. I think the DA office, that's the play. So when you transition, when you transition between floors, you're given 3 different options. There are 2 different hidden secret facilities. I won't say what they are. If we find one, we find one. If we don't, we don't. But beyond that, the cog facilities can have anomalies in them, which can change the course of the run by being either good or bad, such as giving you just an extra amount of laugh for the floor, or just making all the cogs a higher level, making them deal more damage, all sorts of other stuff. So you generally, when you're speedrunning, want to avoid these anomalies, but they can be good or bad things. It's just random.
Yeah, they can be scary. For a marathon run, I feel my goal is I have 3 turns. I have 3 of them.
Yeah.
I always struggle to remember when I get a new turn in this game that I can use it right away.
As you go up the floors, you eventually get up to 3 turns. Clara gets it early because she starts with 2 for Trap and Lure because they take 1 turn each, so you start with 2.
And unfortunately, that blunder may have cost me the use of my Samba hat here, renamed the Fruit hat in the newest patch, but as I mentioned earlier, that is not what we're playing on, so I may end up calling it a mix of both. This hat makes it so if I win a fight within 2 turns, I get like a better loot pool as a reward for finishing the fight.
Top hat.
Yeah, that was probably fine.
So the top hat gives her additional laugh, I believe at the cost of defense.
Yes.
Wrong on that.
So that was a little bit of a crazy take, considering I'm also getting the cat eye glasses as a floor reward.
Yeah. And despite the fruit hat now being not on her person, Lori still gets the buffs. It stays in her inventory. It's just no longer visual as you get a cosmetic of the same type. Which I should mention, all of these are original cosmetics from the original game, Toontown Online. At least right now. There might be more in the future. We don't know. The game's still being updated. But right now, they are all original cosmetics, which is really cool. Like callbacks to the original game. They will stay in your inventory even as you replace them.
Yeah, I can pause it again and show that at the list at the bottom of the screen will just be like all the equipable accessory items I have. And I also did manage to, you're going to see the bounty text at the bottom.
Bounty.
That means I got my Samba hat buffs. But yeah, you can see both the hats here. I still have both of them. Getting a lot of cogfight rooms early on in this DA office.
I'm hoping you get some puzzles later.
Yeah, we're hoping for some puzzles. Obviously, fights, as fun as they are never really the fastest, so we never want to take too many. But with Clara especially, this does give us a chance to get some buffs from the passive trap buffing that she has, so maybe I'll just be ready to absolutely blast through this floor in one more fight.
That speed buff is going to be helpful if you find the double button room in the DA office, because now you should have enough to make the jump. There's a couple rooms in the DA office that are really good for speedrunners because you can skip a couple things in them, and I'm hoping we get to see a couple of them show up here.
Yeah, I know there's one in particular you really want.
Yeah, this is one of them. There's a couple different ways that you can just kind of skip over part of this this labyrinth. So you can just skip going around the way there. There aren't too many like game-breaking speedrun skips in this game, but
here's another skip
this is
room.
another good one.
This is a really fun one. I like this one.
And this is another one where you're supposed to navigate a maze.
Yes. Oh, and we're already getting whistle. I believe, one of the skips in particular was patched in an update. I want to say this one and the one I did in the previous room still exist.
Based on patch notes, I would say you're correct, but admittedly, I haven't gotten around to playing.
I've done a few runs on updated versions. I just don't remember as much. Oh yeah, and this is the room we were talking about. I'm at 1.02 speed. I think I can make this.
You should have enough.
Yeah.
So a fun fact about this, in general, these conveyor platforms that move up and down, you can see that she's getting a lot more jump height. You can actually use that to jump across here.
There we go.
Yeah, nice. And just jump from one end of the puzzle to the other. It takes a high speed stat. You basically have the perfect speed stat for that. But it is really cool. That's another one of these fight rooms. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good opportunity because in the time from the last time we really explained fights, I got my last two gag tracks, so I can talk a little bit about them. You're going to see me use a lot of sound because I have decent sound now. Sound is the original Toontown's major AoE attack, and it's really good in this game. It only targets 3 cogs as opposed to just all 4 if there's a battle with 4, like it does in the original. And in this game, the cog you target will take the full damage, while 2 cogs to the side will take half the damage that the gag deals. So it's like not as strong as it is in original Toontown, but it is still far from bad. And still the ability to take out multiple cogs in one turn is just exactly what we want. I'm getting some really good stuff here.
You're getting a lot of frames early, which is really nice.
Yeah, I'm also tanking my defense stat horribly.
A little bit.
But it's funny, I think.
And you're getting a lot of that fruit hat value, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I want to take a second really quick here to welcome everyone who is tuning in for Toontown. If you are not familiar with GDQ Hotfix, that is games done quicks, regular programming. There are a bunch of regularly occurring shows from awesome people and some special events as well. If you are unfamiliar, I would like to encourage you to go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. You can check out the season's lineup and click through to the detailed schedule for an in-depth look, if I could speak, at the runs coming up in the next few days.
Absolutely. All my homies love Hotfix.
Oh, there's another skip in here. Let's go.
Oh, there is another skip in here. So,
Yeah.
last floor in the factory. Last floor in the factory, we did an action-based boss. We get our first taste of a cog fight boss this time. This is the security goon. The goons are these little mini robots which have these damaging spotlights from the original Toontown. And this fight is really interesting. So we're going to be fighting 2 waves of 3 virtual Skelecogs. And every turn, the security goon will change the weakness of the virtual Skelecog, or change the resistances of the virtual Skelecog. So there is 1 gag track each turn that we cannot use against that
specific cog.
Yeah, against that specific cog. So the micromanager is immune to trap, but I can still trap the double talker here. This is a good time to mention if we see a resistance for it, which we don't. The last gag track, I said we had 2 more to explain, and I never explained one of them, my bad, is Squirt. Squirt is a pretty weak attack generally, but in this game, not only does it move first, when in other servers it usually doesn't. That guy was immune to lore. I'm so smart.
I'm prepping him.
I'm just prepping him, yeah. Not only does it move first, but it also applies a debuff called Drenched.
Or Drenched.
Which means that cog takes extra damage. So it's actually just a really, really good support skill to have. Even if you just have a small version of it, like I do right now, that debuff can allow for massive damage, especially against major bosses. Also something to note, comparing original Toontown to the Grindworks, is that gags do not have accuracy in this game. You will always hit your enemy. When we get to Corporate Clash, you might see us miss. That would be very sad, but very funny. But that allows.
I believe we've seen it up to this point, but the cogs can still miss. The tunes just can't. Just as a little method of balancing.
The cogs missing is based on my evasion stat, which is getting high, but also my defense is getting really low. I don't want to lower my luck, so I'm going to go to the factory again.
Fair.
Record profits is my only anomaly. So this is a strictly positive anomaly. Every cog I defeat will give me jelly beans.
Yeah, about the best anomaly you could have rolled here next to the laugh upgrade.
My defense is 0.55 and my evasiveness is 0.86.
I don't have a glass cannon right now.
Yeah, where's the... Oh, no, we're not taking that.
The Princess Hat buffs your damage but lowers your speed heavily. It's not a super relevant stat, but it's nice to have the speed, and the damage isn't really necessary at this point, so it's kind of just a skip there.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice I got this. This is nice. So I have the big weight now, which means that I can now group lure an entire squad of cogs for 30 knockback damage.
So now that does 48 damage in addition to the normal 18 that the fruit pie slice does.
Yeah. I actually don't know if this is enough. I'm purely gambling. It is exactly enough.
Huge. You could always just like pray for a crit. Because crits exist in this game, and I don't know if they exist in Corporate Clash. I know they didn't exist in the original game.
They
though.
do not.
I
have 2 drop frames coming soon. Let's go.
There's a couple of lawbots for you. Oh my god, that's 3 lawbots in one fight. That's big.
I also want to take this opportunity to shout out, well, I still have not, that this song you're hearing right now is the song in question that was released in the new update. So if you like this song, big shout outs to the composer. I love it.
Yeah, it's a really good track. I'm enjoying it. I thought about it earlier and I was like, wait a minute, that is the new track.
Yeah. I'm going to go a bit of a slow approach here, where I am not going to unlure the Spin Doctor immediately, so it's going to stay stunned. Because I didn't use an AoE lure, as we talked about earlier, the Spin Doctor is just not going to move at all. And I think this combo should be enough to take it out.
Another thing we kind of hinted at and we saw in this fight is that some of the cogs have different attacks that are not in the original game. That Bloodsucker used Corporate Gains, which buffs its damage. There's a couple other... If we find any actual boss cogs, and like Administrator cogs, which are the new boss cogs that are added at the end of floors, they do have unique attacks and gimmicks to their fights. Corporate Gains is one of the normal cog attacks that was added in addition to cog mitosis, which is exclusive to the flunky and allows him to split off by mitosis and make a carbon copy, as I said earlier.
Yes.
That copy will, though, not carry over the damage. It will just be a normal version of the flunky at full health.
That is something I think has been fixed if you're playing on current patch, thankfully.
Okay, good.
Oh, this is 3 level 7s. Oh, I love that. Thank you, game. Oh, that's so nice.
That is that the max level for this floor?
I believe so.
Oh, I didn't know if it was 7 or 8 at this point.
Well, while you take care of that, I want to shout out Summer Games Done Quick 2025. If you haven't heard, that will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th through 13th. And if you would like to volunteer or run at the event, applications are open right now. Submit them by March 31st to be considered. And if you want to attend, you can register by May 26th. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gamesdonequick.com for more info. I will be there. You should be too.
I'm already planning to go. I got my registration in. I'm still going to get my run submissions in, but I'm planning on it.
Same.
That deadline is coming up sooner than you think. It always sneaks up on me.
So yeah, this is a fight I played kind of slow, but kind of safe. Because, again, those are all of 3 of, I think, what is the highest level cog that I can see on this floor. And I'm not the super strongest right now, but that drop frame should help. 8 more cogs away from getting another drop frame. And at that point, I should really begin to take off. Party hat!
The party hat!
Let's go!
Everyone's blessed! That is one of the best items in the game because it just buffs every single one of your stats and there's no downside. Plus, it looks awesome.
It does look awesome. Okay, yeah, this is a much more reasonable fight. gonna go. Oh, I can kill this in 2. 8, 16, 26 will beat that as well, so I can take out 2 in 1 turn here.
Chad's popping off for the party hat. Let's go.
I mean, that's what you do. We are at the point where I am rerunning a dungeon type I've already done, and we've explained a lot of basic mechanics. So now we're really in the roguelike grind. We're seeing what we can get. One might even say we're in the Grindworks.
Title.
Like the title. This has been a pretty long floor.
This runs on a pretty good pace, though, all things considered.
Yeah, it's on a decent one. I would say for an environment where I'm not like resetting for a like really strong start by default, it's pretty chill. But I do wish it was. I always wish it's a little faster. Can I afford
Dragon
this?
Wings.
That's
Dragon
enough. Yeah.
Wings.
So Dragon
One of
Wings
the
are
other
a
best
great
items in
item.
the game.
Yeah, the patch I'm playing on, they were nerfed from the release patch, and they're still really strong. I get a buff to all my. Oh my gosh, sorry. I get a buff to all my stats on that. Depending on how much money I have.
Chat is losing their minds over the fact that there was a chest there.
Yeah,
This keeps happening.
nobody
This has
explores it.
happened every time I've shown this game to someone. There's always someone that's like, I didn't know there was a chest there. And I was like, I don't play shooters. This is a really weird start to a sentence about Toontown. I don't play shooters, but I'm very aware of the meme about people who play games like TF2 and Overwatch not looking upwards.
That's real.
And let's just say, yeah, I think they're accurate.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
really
is
the
the
only big
Chartist.
hidden chest, though. That's like the only one that's really, really out of the way. There's one other one in the mint that some people don't know about, but it's a little more obvious. But that's really like the only hidden chest, to be fair.
I'm playing this fight a little bit slow, just because I'm worried right now. But the Chartist is pretty scary. What they can do is make a reinforcement cog immune to lore, and also raise their max HP. So I took out all of the cogs pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I didn't plan around it perfectly, and there's a chance he might end up spawning some extras right now. And if he does that, I definitely wasted some time. Yeah, there it is.
That's unfortunate.
I mean,
right
that's
at the
fine.
end of his phase,
Okay,
too.
it's 2 cogs, and it's pretty easy.
They're low level. Yeah, they're low levels. That's fine. That's nothing really.
Yeah, I think I can do this, and it should take out the fight. So that was a little bit not perfectly played, but
Considering what he spawned, that was pretty good, though.
yeah, thankfully I didn't really get punished as hard as I have been before. And thanks to the record profits floor, I get a little bit more money before making it out of floor 2 here.
Oh, that's true. You also get record profits off them, don't you?
Yeah, I have it. It was this anomaly.
Yeah, but you get it off the ones he summoned, I mean. So you got another extra.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just farming.
All right, let's
Factory
see what
again,
we
mint
got.
again. We're gonna go for this.
Okay.
We're gonna risk the anomaly. Volatile market. I'll take that. That's fine.
That's not the worst anomaly, because volatile
no, no.
market can go either way. That means
Oh,
that Cog
I have
HP
level
can
5
either
drop.
get better or worse. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is the other chest some people sometimes miss.
Yes. So this is the mint. This is the Cashbot type dungeon, and it is the 3rd one we're doing. It might be the last one we're doing. For context, all of the dungeons have their own like rooms that they generate. I want to keep my damage,
Fair.
even though I am really low defense in this run. What I was getting at though is each cog type has their own.
Has their own dungeon.
With their own rooms. They're not like reskins. They are actually different. They have their own gimmicks, their own rooms. The Cog Golf Course, the boss spot type dungeon, has a lot of really big fight rooms where you often are required to fight more than one cog at once. Therefore, we often try to avoid it in speedruns.
It also has a maze that is long and sometimes has another one attached behind it, and a timed minigame that can take generally about a minute that you don't really have a say in. It's kind of just random with the mole spawns.
Yes.
Play whack-a-mole on a giant field, and you just kind of have to wait for the moles to show up. So it really doesn't work in a speedrun setting.
Mm-hmm.
There is one other thing that we have not encountered yet in regards to the fights.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Start to see soon. I've been seeing it in chat a little bit, asking about proxies.
Yeah, it's something that they have higher chance to show up later in the run, and it just kind of hasn't happened yet. But we will definitely get to that when they start showing up. I'm trying to think what I can do to take this turn out.
You can lure them once. Is the big weight enough?
That guy's dead, and this guy.
Oh yeah, that's overkill.
Yeah, but the anvil wasn't. I think the anvil was technically enough with aftershock, but I didn't want to with the animations.
With the damage stat in this game, it's sometimes difficult to keep track of how much damage things do, because as your damage scales up, the numbers change. Oh hey, there's a proxy cog, right as we were talking about him.
I am not friends with you. How much does that do? 29, 89. It's just...
Masher perk.
I just don't like that guy. So proxy cogs are scary because they usually have more health than the average cog of a similar level. But also, they all come with their own special perk that either buffs them in some way or debuffs you in some way, and it's generally very scary to deal with. That one in particular had... I don't remember.
That one had +8 damage. That was the best.
Yeah. Okay, so that one, over time, the longer it stays in the battle, the more damage it starts dealing. But some of them have things that debuff you directly, such as making your gags cost more points. I don't know if this is in this version of the game, but I know there's one that gives you like a damage over time as long as it's alive.
It is not in 1.0.2, it is in later versions though.
Okay. All of these tasks stink a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the money's good, but like, the tasks themselves aren't, so it's still not worth it.
I made it a worse one. But yeah, no, the proxies are scary, and as we get later into the run, they start getting more and more common, so we're probably going to be seeing a lot of those in the like last 2 floors of the run especially. Which we're still in the middle of floor 3. We'll still have floors 4 and 5. That is drop level 6.
Whoa.
I wonder what gag the game wants me to use. Oh, that's really good money.
On the purple jelly bean, that's really good for Dragon
That's
Wings.
good, because a cogability I don't think we explained is cash bots can steal your money.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of that so far. My money has gone considerably down despite the fact that I've not been spending, so I'm glad to be getting more for my Dragon Wings. 2.
And it's a 5 and a 9. That's not bad, honestly.
No, that's not bad at all.
There's one other thing that Toontown fans of the original games who haven't played the Grindworks yet might have noticed. Tune-Up is notably absent on that list of tracks. That is because it has been converted into items that you can use to do various things for yourself, such as buff yourself or heal, as it originally did. I think it's a really good way to make Tune-Up relevant, while Tune-Up normally would target anyone else other than yourself. I think it's a really nice way to work it into the game that is a completely solo experience.
Yeah, but also we're going to be saving like all of our buffs for the final boss.
Yeah, so there you see the juggling cubes that are a luck boost. You usually save all this for the final boss in speedruns. We saw her, Luri, briefly use a lipstick to tune herself up earlier. We didn't really point it out at the time, but it was just a brief moment of self-heal, because those aren't very frequent, especially when she's not getting a lot of throw up until this point, as evidenced by the whole food pie showing up on floor 3.
Yeah.
Empty shop, holy.
And this is a
golden goose. That's a friend if I've ever seen it.
I like the Golden Goose. This is the like action boss of the Cashbot Mint, and it's tricky. So the goal of the fight here is that I'm going to have to hit 3 switches. They spawn on these conveyor belts. I have to stay on the conveyor belts while avoiding these crushers, and the safes don't damage me, but they can act as a wall. And eventually, switches will come out of these sides, and I need to just hit them 3 times to win the fight. The crushers can crush the switches, though, so I want to be ready for them. And if they get crushed a lot, this fight can start taking unfortunately long, but we're already 2 buttons in.
You have pretty good RNG so far.
Hopefully the 3rd one shows up fast. I don't really have a specific strat in terms of like trying. Oh, hi, buddy.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, let's go!
Let's go. 100 boss cogs, and you got smashed into the floor after winning the fight. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
We're going to that anomaly-free office.
Round 2. All right. The cog golf course only had 1 anomaly, but again, it's the cog golf course. As I mentioned before, it is very long. It is generally not worth it.
Yeah. And this floor reward is pretty nice. Hi, so this is Minesweeper, you know, the game where you sweep mines. You're safe. If you hit the skulls in these laser mini games, you have to fight an extra fight. That's not fun.
It's not fun, and it doesn't give you a reward at the end, so it really is not encouraged.
Yeah. I also think virtual Skelecogs do not count for task progress. Okay.
That
these
I
guys
don't
really
know, but that's interesting. Those are a lot of high-level cogs, holy.
Yeah. I don't really know how to take this one on, I'm gonna be real.
I think the play might be stuns.
Yeah. You're probably right. I do also have really high level drop and throw. So I'm gonna maybe try and take out the 2 on the sides as quick as I can here.
Unfortunately, your sound's still a little bit stunted, so you're not really getting to use those points.
Yeah. And the problem with a gag being stunted especially is if a gag is stunted, it's not worth using as often. And if it's not worth using as often, I more often have to commit to my stronger gags, which means I'm using their points much faster. So like, since I can't use sound very often, I find myself using stuff like throw and drop a lot, which means I'm using their points faster.
A strategy that can show up, but in that fight was kind of just not really an option, is with Clara, you can farm trap buffs by just like repeatedly using the lower down trap gags. Might be a worthwhile endeavor here with only 2 cogs, because you can get rid of 1 and then just kind of bait the other to get some buffs. Clara can also heal herself using the trap buffs. One of the chances is just for her to heal herself with it. So it
I probably should have healed before this.
It could be helpful. You're not gonna
Yeah.
though, you'll be fine.
That's true. Damage up. We love damage. Let's go damage.
That's probably the second best buff you could have gotten here next to a heal.
Oh goodness, I'm taking a lot.
Yeah, but this is damage down, yeah.
This guy is dying to that. So I am actually, I'm just gonna take the opportunity here to farm some buffs.
Might as well try and bait out a heal if we can. That'd be huge.
Evasion is nice.
Helps you last a little longer in the fight.
Good crit there. I get more self-healing because it's percentage based. And yeah, this will take it out.
And getting to use a lower level gag. Very nice.
Yeah, saving up my points. Defense up, nice.
Take it. We don't really have much of that outside the fight, so we'll take it.
Yeah, I definitely am doing a very ballsy build for a showcase run.
A little bit.
What's my defense at? A solid 0.77? It's okay, it's at 0.78 now.
The Clara buffs that we get reset at the end of the floor, so we don't get to carry these to the end of the run. That would be a little bit strong.
I'm very much regretting not taking that cog pack I saw earlier.
Fair. I mean, the damage is helping, though.
Oh, there's quicksand.
That's big, because now that's another trap gag you can use to just kind of farm some buffs while actually dealing damage now.
Yeah. That's really nice.
The puzzle room!
I'm gonna try and do this one for you. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not perfect at it.
So this is a skip that is exclusive to 1.0.2 and earlier. This has been patched in pretty much, I believe, every update since. But if you are good about it, you can just skip these puzzles, and I love it.
I'm not gonna skip this one.
I found out you can just kind of like jump across, and climbing on furniture is my hobby.
Yeah. That is a big guy on the right. But that is 2 cogs down right at the start of this battle.
Speed up, probably like one of the lower down.
Yeah, that's not really what I'm looking for right now. We're gonna do 2 sport guns here. Because I think that should make the piano kill. I mean, what I was really hoping for with this run was that with the items I was taking to lower my defense, either my laugh total would take off with the top hat, or my evasion would take off. Unfortunately, I think both of those are kind of not where I need them. Nice.
Fun fact about that fight next to her, it is optional, so you don't have to fight that big scary proxy god.
Yeah, I'm absolutely skipping that. Matching game, absolutely gonna go for red here. Probably could have done that a little bit better, but it's fine.
I don't think my brain processes that you can go for red there. I just always assume red bad, turn it green.
That's fair, honestly.
I never think about it. Getting a lot of puzzle rooms here, which is really nice. Again, the DI office has some of the fastest puzzles due to all these skips that we have. It is really nice. As well as like this puzzle room in particular just being really good by having 2 chests in it for basically free.
Yeah. This room again? Okay, that's a 2 up there. Is it a 2 and a 3? Yeah, it's a 2 and a 3.
2 and 3. And that's the last corporate raider for your tasks. That's honestly not bad.
Really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna take out the spin doctor as soon as I can. I think that, yeah, that absolutely takes it out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that helps.
Oh, the drench and the crit. Yeah, that's plenty. And speed up again.
Nice dodge. Or was that a dodge? I was not paying attention.
I don't think it was a dodge.
Dang. We tried.
I looked over chat, but I don't think it was a dodge.
I've also been forgetting I have the 3D glasses from my last lure reward, so my lure knockback is greater.
There are a couple other items that I don't know if we're going to get to see. One of my favorites is the detective hat. There are a couple items that like actually affect the battles themselves, such as the witch's hat, which gives you poison. The aforementioned one that I just forgot immediately because I started talking. The detective hat, right? That allows you to lure a drop. Oh my god! And the jamboree pack, perfect. So the Jamboree pack is one that when you lure a cog, it allows you to get the knockback damage while sounding, where normally that is not possible. Normally the sound would just unlure the cog, but now thanks to Jamboree pack, you will get the knockback.
Yeah, if only I had a, like, better than whistle.
Yeah. Kind of the most unfortunate one of those, but this is pretty cool. This is one of those ones that like affects the fight itself beyond just being damage buffs, which is something really cool that I like that they did. Detective Hat is probably the best of those for Clara, because again, it allows you to trap a cog while it is lured, so you can just lure everyone and then worry about trapping them later. But all of them are really cool and add something new to the fight in addition to just like being really good.
Yeah, for sure. I really do like how many items in this game, especially with the... I have so much speed. Oh my goodness. Especially with the Jamboree pack. As an example, changed the game in an interesting way instead of just everything being like a stat buff.
Yeah.
There's an item I got way too early in this run for it to matter, but it is an item I love a lot called the balancing scale, I think. Is
Yeah,
what
I
its
saw
official
it in the
name
shop.
is. That equalizes all of your stats.
It might be useful now, honestly, if it shows up in another shop.
Maybe.
Considering how low your defense is. The only question I have, and there are devs in chat, so maybe you can answer this. What happens to Clara using a scale in the middle of a floor? With her buffs at the end, does it take away the points from the old stats? The cape? Ow.
Oh, free task reroll. I'm gonna take the cape. That's some evasion, which is really nice. Do I want to reroll any of these? Right, 2 of them are near the end. I love sunk cost fallacy, so. So this is Minesweeper boss.
Yeah. So last time we got the security goon wall in here, but the puzzle mini game, or like the action boss, as Lori calls it, is Minesweeper. Big Minesweeper. Let's go.
Oh no, so close.
Worth it. No, that's fine. Only 1 damage. I normally just run straight through it.
Yeah, it's usually not bad to run straight through that one, but the damage can be pretty big if you hit it repeatedly. So I was trying to play a little safe because I still don't have great defense, but it is what it is. And there are a few mini games on the side here that you can play to get some extra chests on top of the 4 chests that are going to be next to the elevator as a reward for finishing the floor.
Yeah, this is another reason why the DA offices are insane, because if you have the stats to go for those, specifically the run chest, you can sometimes just not have enough speed to go for. If you have it, it is insane. I mean, you can go for the conductor hat helps if you get some sound for that Jamboree pack.
I'll take it, if only because, I mean, there's no point to have a task reroll as a floor 5 reward.
That's also true, because at the end of floor 5, we're going to go to the executive office, where there'll be the final boss of 2 random boss cogs.
Yes. But this is the last floor before that, so the stops are they pulled or are they unpulled? I don't remember how words work.
I think it's unpulled.
We pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
The stops have been pulled.
But yeah, no, you're right, then it's pulled.
Yeah, they have been pulled. I don't have any other comment. The stops are pulled.
We derailed the brain so hard there.
Good.
I'm trying to play roguelike.
I got something to talk about. How
Absolutely.
about GDQ's International Transgender Day of Visibility celebration, which is going on March 29th and 30th, and you all in chat can use ! Trans visibility for more info. I bring this up because all 3 of us in this Discord call right now have runs in this event.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
I'm also very biased because I'm organizing this event. Sorry, yeah, go on, Laurie.
No, of course. You should be. I'm super excited for the event. I'm playing Pseudo Regalia next week in what is maybe one of the most opposite games from this game I can think of.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I have the Trans Day of Visibility hotfix will be my 4th time doing some sort of event on the GDQ channel in the past 2 months, and I will have run a 2D Donkey Kong platformer, an RPG Maker game, Toontown, and a 3D Metroidvania.
That's insane.
You've got the range. Let's go.
Yeah, I love having range in speedrunning.
Yeah, I'm playing Monkey Ball because of course I am. I do not have the range.
Yeah,
It's a plays a Monkey Ball.
I will be running Squirrel with a Gun's new Ratatosker boss fight that was added recently. Squirrel with a Gun was shown off at HDQ 2025, and it was right around then that the update came out, so I don't think there was time to put it in as an incentive. But yeah, that content's really cool, so be sure to check that out.
That's a hilarious run. I saw the GDQ.
It's so
run. It's
funny.
Really good.
That game is
anyway,
so comedic.
Yeah, please keep an eye out for that, March 29th and 30th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, both days. The schedule is right there in chat. Check it out. And if you missed it, !trans visibility, get it back up in chat. Yeah, definitely check it out. The schedule is fantastic. I'm not biased at all, I promise. And I'm very much looking forward to it.
Playing some fights safe here, but I am finally at the point where I'm getting more than one gag to its top level. I do have drop maxed out, and I do have throw at level 6. So I'm starting to, and I do have lore at level 6 as well. So I'm starting to be able to be a little bit more flexible with what I play, but I'm still hoping some of my gags like sound and trap get up to those super heights before the end of this floor. There's throw, yeah. And I do get some gag tracks in the executive office right before the final boss, so those, as long as I get a few more good things, can maybe cover. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna re-roll that. And
hopefully that Lawbot shows up. I don't think you'll get 6 in time.
Yeah, that's not the thing. Okay.
You're a little late into this floor. I don't know that you're gonna get many other tasks.
There's
done.
Bugle.
Yeah! The Bugle on floor 5. Let's go.
That's what we like to see.
I'm really hoping we either see 1 or 2 sound frames in the final room.
Yeah. Okay.
4, 10. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't like them. So that's why we're going to... That guy's also lighting me on fire.
Oh wait, the damage over time is in this one?
Yes.
Oh,
It seems like it is. I couldn't remember either.
I could have sworn it was a 1.0.3. Redrunner has an awesome design.
Okay. Yeah, 30. And how much knockback is that? 75? Okay. I'll do a little bit of this just to be safe, but this should take out both of them.
Yeah.
All right, that was a really good fight out of a cog with 410 health.
Something cool that we haven't mentioned about this game yet is that it has its own built-in cog creator.
Yes.
So similar to the proxy cogs, you can, once you find a specific secret facility that is kind of fitting to unlock it, you unlock a cog creator that you can create cogs and have them show up in your runs. There is a separation on the boards for whether or not this is allowed in a speedrun setting, but in terms of a casual setting, people have been creating some really awesome stuff. I've seen it all in the Discord. People are making stuff after like shows, they're making up their own designs, they're taking stuff from like other Toontown games and putting it in. It's really cool to see.
I remember verifying a speedrun that had custom cogs enabled, and I distinctly remember one of the custom cogs was just like the entire cog gallery.
What, like
just like
onto a single cog?
Yeah, just like a picture of the cog gallery in the book from the original game. Just like as the head.
That's awesome.
It was really funny.
Yeah, I'm assuming it just knows every single attack. That's peak.
Was not paying that much attention.
No, fair.
But
you also probably wouldn't see it, but like...
Yeah, that's true.
Fair.
I'm not a the biggest character creator girly, but I always respect people having their fun.
Same. I'm the type to use it, but not understand how to do it.
This guy's lighting me on fire again. Why?
Just really like lighting you on fire today.
I think that was a crit. I can't see behind the camera. I think that camera angle has also been patched for reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if that... I would not know if that has been patched yet, but that is something that kind of is unfortunate for Clara. In the mint, she gets obstructed a little bit, so you can't see the buffs you get either.
So actually, we mentioned a while ago the tune-up buffing items that I'm saving for the final boss. I actually just used another form of item in that menu that we've not talked about, which is the gag vouchers, the gag point vouchers. Simply put, it's just a consumable that gives me 5 points of whatever gag track I use the voucher for. So in this fight, I just wanted to take out this proxy quickly, so I used a drop voucher to give myself statue. It's another thing, again, we want to save for the final boss a lot because they're just really good to have in the most dangerous situation in the game.
Yeah.
But they're good basically wherever.
Hey, you can see the crit there.
I could see the crit that time, yeah.
That's huge. That was probably the best attack that Moneybags could have pulled out.
Yeah. 25, 38.
Kind of got
I'm
some
gonna use
time here
2
if
and a
you wanna-
piano.
You got some time here if you want to farm points.
I could have, but I'm not worried about this floor in particular.
That's fair.
I'm worried about the ending.
Yeah, you've still got full health too, so if you want to farm points later, you can. Well, maybe not. The next boss fight, if you get the boss fight, the next one's kind of on a timer.
Yeah, the next boss fight is pretty scary.
I want to see the Golden Goose again.
As much as I would love to show off more of the game for variety, for my safety, I'm kind of hoping for Golden Goose again.
No, that's fair. The roguelike aspect of this kind of makes it a little bit difficult to do a showcase at the same time as a speedrun.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. But I'm trying my best.
You're doing a great job of showing off all the content you've gotten to see. Like, we've shown off everything in the DA office, we've shown off the factory, the new track, the mint. The only thing that's really been off limits is the COG golf course, the secret facilities, and just the stuff that we have no control over because it's a randomly generated run.
Yeah, I guess my only recommendation is
Play it.
play the game yourself if you want to see the COG golf course. Play the game yourself if you want to see the secret facilities that we haven't seen in all this run.
The secret facilities are really worthwhile, I will say. The Cellbot secret facility, because I will do my best to not name drop it, although the spoiler tag has been lifted in the Discord. I want people to experience it for themselves. It is like one of my favorite things that I've raw seen in Toontown ever. Like,
It's so much fun.
That boss fight is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly brought me back to like remembering finding stuff in Toontown Online and be like, oh my god, this is the first time I'm fighting this boss. It was so much Wednesday.
Oh my goodness, this floor is long.
A 2? Yeah, but it's a 2 fight. That's not bad. I mean,
It's a
lo-
2. I'm not complaining about this fight. I'm just saying this floor is long.
You should be done soon.
I should be,
Boy,
yes.
Wow.
Crit trench, very nice. Damage up, nice. Oh, that's a big crit.
Have we seen every variation of the penny pincher?
I believe so.
That was the nickel nabber. There was the quarter grabber earlier.
Yeah, the quarter catcher.
Quarter catcher, that's it.
38, that's around 90. I'm just gonna do this. I probably could have just prepped for the crit and did something lower. My luck's pretty high right now. I wonder
I was
how much
gonna
of it's
say,
gonna
what's
go.
your luck stat?
Yeah, I have no idea. I think some of it is obviously the floor buffs, but it's 2. It's 2.04.
Then you're guaranteed. Oh no, never mind. Doesn't work that way. Oh, there's
okay,
more
shop.
sound.
There
And
is more sound.
Next to nothing in your shop. Yeah, that's
I know I have
that's the
Dragon
safe
Wings,
play.
but I am gonna buy these just for safety.
No, that's the safe play.
And yes, okay, we get to show off every boss from the facilities we go to. This is the ground floor administrator, or the ground floor investor. Sorry. He is mean. I don't like this guy, and by that I mean he's difficult. I like the design, obviously.
Yeah.
Also, I just trapped one and then lured the other 3 like a genius. So, as you can tell, this guy is on a platform that is slowly sinking into lava.
The fight's essentially on a timer, but it doesn't instantly kill you when you get dropped into the lava. It also it damages everyone, including the cogs, but it does damage you, which is kind of a problem.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and set up across the board to deal some damage to people here.
This is another time we can point out the amazing new OST that was added for this that just fits right in with the rest of the original game soundtrack, like the Toontown Online soundtrack.
Okay, so I can lure all three at once here.
You can do that because you have the jam pack.
Yeah. I'll use one of these now to be safe.
You got 2 pixie dusts and 1 more lipstick, so yeah,
Yeah.
It's safe. It might be a little scary on the final floor, but you should be okay.
2 pixie dusts makes me feel really confident.
That's fair. Not to mention whatever you're about to get here, the 4 and then 2 additional tracks.
The 4 and the 2, yeah. I get a full heal. Wait, I'm not thinking.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, that was...
Oh
I
well,
forget about that too.
I'll be fine.
Well, do you have any task rerolls?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you might want to reroll that squirt before you go up the floor.
It's fine.
Alright, so then this is gonna be the final... I'll say 2 floors because there's an elevator in between, but we're essentially going up to the end of the game here with the executive office. There will be a fight of 2 boss cogs who constantly summon reinforcements, so we'll see plenty of familiar faces. Lori's gonna get a full heal here, and then 2 random frames from tracks that she is missing. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually.
Yeah. So what do we have? We have Union Buster Traffic Manager. Okay,
Traffic Manager's a little bit annoying here. Union Buster is a little more manageable. Yeah, I see you targeting instantly. The traffic director dictates what tracks you can and can't use. So he's kind of a pain to deal with, but he's not the worst. And then Union Buster...
Oh, I didn't use any of my buffs. Oops.
The Union Buster, yeah, heals...
The Union Buster has a lot going on.
Union Buster, like, heals, tells cogs they're fired, explodes them. He's all over the place. You also picked up you picked up 2 high dives. You are kind of okay right now.
Yeah.
In terms of buffs.
Yeah, we're just gonna run this.
Another banger soundtrack, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this song goes super hard. The goal here is I'm starting off by doing damage to both of these. Also, trapping helps me get some buffs up early. But the goal of this fight is actually going to be more focused on taking one of these 2 out as much as possible, because it's when their mechanics combine that they really start becoming a problem. In this situation, I'm probably going to be aiming for the Union Buster first. But I also have a lot of vouchers, so I'm not going to be afraid to use them. The vouchers in particular, I can, like, overclock the amount of points I get. So I'm trying to be really nice and careful with that.
The only problem with overclocking, just worth mentioning, is...
I don't get regen.
Yeah, you will not regenerate beyond the limits, so unless you use it, it's not super worth it to do. If you really need it, you can, but... I don't know, you got it. You're doing perfect. Get yourself a heal here, and...
Yeah, I have not used throw at all this fight. I'm definitely going to get a lot of self-heal when I can.
Well, the traffic manager banned it off rip, so you kind of got one more turn where you literally cannot.
I have everything in my life banned.
You can stun them to stall a turn if you want to wait, and then get your tracks back.
Well, they unlure at the end of the round.
Yeah, sure.
Do I have any drop left? No, I have nothing I really want left.
I mean, you could lure and whistle. That's all you got.
No, I don't even want to save my points. This is the strategy I like to call... I'm just passing. This is a not great situation. But we're so close to the end. I would love to make it work. And now we're going to be required to use certain tracks, which is good because that means, although we're getting forced into certain things, we're not getting forced out of them. So I'm going to do this, this, am kind of nervous about my drop points, but we'll make this work.
One of the things we did not mention about the fights in this game is that they changed it so that lured cogs can now be dropped. We kind of forgot to mention that, which is something that changed from the original game.
I should have healed
something
here.
I don't
I
really
think I
think
might be
about.
dead. Okay, good dodge.
Good dodge, good dodge.
Double
Good dodge,
dodge,
good
nice.
dodge. Your pixie dust run out?
It did. All my stuff ran out. I need to reuse it.
There you go.
Okay. So, how much is that going to do? 274. I need to soak.
Self-heal might be worth it for throw if you can spare it.
I don't think I can this turn,
Okay,
but that's
hopefully you get it
okay.
next turn as a required one then. Because
Yeah.
there will be one more turn where she's required to use 3 different tracks, where it'll require her to use 1 from each track.
Yeah, this
Did
is
you
also
just
not a great
predict
situation.
that?
No. I just lured that side because I wanted to lure the 2 cogs on the side since the traffic manager unlures. I did set up my pixie dust. My health is just so naturally low. I still have a, what's it called?
Your luck went up.
Yeah, but that's not what I need.
Well, fair, but not bad.
Yeah, I think I'm dead here.
Maybe.
Okay,
That
he's
helps.
gaining.
The question is, the telemarketer do enough to kill, or do you evade?
4.
Oh! Holy, you really better get throw here. This might be unfortunate.
I do not have throw.
That's a little scary.
I am out of
You
health.
can stack. You can stack buffs, by the way. So like using multiple of those items will, yeah. So you might want to use like, yeah.
I mean, we just have to, I guess.
Might as well send it. Fair enough. I respect the grind. The reminder, gags. Traps.
I need to heal more than anything.
Yes, fair enough. Cool. This is getting dicey.
Yeah.
Not your fault. It's just like, what can we do?
Good dodge.
Big dodge, big dodge. Dodge it again, dodge it again. Unfortunate. Don't retaliate too violently.
It should be like a 30.
Did he just not?
No, it's
Oh,
after
there it is.
this. Yeah, it's half my current health.
40. That's... And he banned it again!
He banned throw.
That's evil. That's so evil. You can one-shot the Union Buster with Portable
I
Hole.
can.
Alright, this just became a lot more manageable though.
Mm,
The traffic manager being alive is kind of a pain because it's going to limit your tracks, which are already kind of staggered. So if he hits the right tracks on complete RNG, might be a little
Dodge.
unfortunate, but
I once again did not lure a trap. Go me. If my throw is good, I think what I have to do here. Why are you?
uh-oh.
I think what I once again have to do here is ignore the traffic order and just go.
Yeah. That stun will help. Luck.
That's
Might as well
death.
take a little more crit. That's one of the bosses down. That crit's huge because that basically just negates the damage you're going to take.
Yep.
You're not going to get attacked.
I'm gonna get
based on
traffic
the
jam
end.
for 40.
Yeah.
And
Downside,
sound is
all
gone.
of your buffs are out.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit tricky now.
This is horrible, to put it lightly.
You simply can't eat the traffic, so this might... You can kill the micromanager at the least.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this one.
Honestly, call me crazy. Damage down on the... If he unlures, can't you damage down him? Yeah, and then just pass to get Gags back because he's gonna greenlight next. If you
I think
live
that has
this,
to be it.
I think this might be the work.
7.
Yeah. That made it
This guy
so much
attacks
better.
for 24.
That's-
I have
Well, now
wedding
you
cake.
can-
I have wedding
yeah,
cake.
you can use throw now on the bright side, so we're back.
Yeah. I'm going to do this. Wedding cake. Hole. I need to hold up. No, I can't hold. I just focus, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the right play. Especially because he's going to be damage down, so you don't have to worry about him with the wedding cake coming back. Yeah, because
That did not do anywhere as much healing as I wanted it to, but I
But he
think
should
that's
be
not crit.
dead. If not, Aftershock should be enough. So you shouldn't die here. Yeah.
Okay, his damage was still down. And
Either miss or no damage. Yeah.
yep,
No, that should be
aftershock
it.
kills.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god,
That
you were
was-
completely right on that call.
that was dicey as hell, but we made it through. That's the roguelike
Time is
element,
when
baby.
this cog explodes, by the way. Sorry, I never called that out. This was nerve-wracking. And time.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so
Hold that out for nothing.
I want to, for context, I want to say, out of every like serious attempt I've done on this game, I've only died unintentionally like once. I definitely played this in a very risky fashion and took some gambles that didn't pay out. Maybe don't play the game like this if you plan to play it yourself. But I'm so happy to have pulled that fight out because I definitely shouldn't have.
What a play.
So we don't have a lot of time. We do have to get ready for Clash. This estimate was kind of to be prepared for some of the absolute worst luck we could get, and I got close to that. So Swim, if you have anything you want to say after this, I quickly want to say thank you so much to the Grindworks team. Again, this game's only been out for about 3 weeks, but it's been ridiculously fun. I've played it nearly every day, and I just want to keep playing it more. Thank you so much for making this, and here's your validation that it's as good as you were hoping, I guess.
No, this game is absolutely fun. I've been having a blast playing with it, doing runs, even just like exploring and even finding stuff for the first time was just such a blast with this game. It was so great. And even with the new content coming out, I keep looking forward to everything that keeps coming. Quickly, just to keep shoutouts to a minimum, you can find me on most social medias at IsomFly or at IsomFly556 if IsomFly was taken. We mentioned it before, I'll be at the Trans Day of Visibility. I'll be running Squirrel with the Guns. Keep an eye out for that if you enjoyed me and my commentary. That's it from me, though. I will leave it back to Lori and the rest of the showcase.
Yeah, so as Laurie briefly mentioned, Toontown Corporate Clash is coming up right after this, but I am Helix. You are watching a Parallel Universe, the show about community-created content. Real quick, before we get started, there was a Grindworks showcase right before this. If you missed that, or if you've missed any of GDQ's other content, like our other Hotfix shows, events like Back to Black, Frost Fatales, etc., you can go check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. But with that said, we got a bunch of people lined up here. Lori and Coral are also here. So why don't you two tell me what's going on with Corporate Clash?
Hi. So yes, this is Toontown Corporate Clash. Hi, my name is Lori D. Bunnykins. Welcome back. And this is a actually online server fan game of Toontown. Like the original is an MMORPG, this is also an online MMORPG. And we are going to be showing you one of the hardest fights in this update. This is the Overclocked CLO. Do you want to explain what that is, Coral?
Yeah, hi.
And also introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Coral. I play this game a lot. It's pretty fun. So the Overclocked CLO. So if you remember from Toontown Online, we had the CJ. So for one of the Toontown servers, they kind of redid the whole boss, and now it's called the CLO. And then they redid it twice, so now it's the Overclocked CLO. So like this is pretty much the late game boss, or the end game boss rather, for most of the community when they have max tunes, because this fight's still pretty hard. Like it's got some really special cogs, some really fun real-time fights, and yeah.
All right, so there's quite a bit of rounds to this fight. There are like 4 phases in total. We will start talking about them when we get into the elevator, and time will start when the elevator closes and the cutscene starts. So I'm going to get in the elevator, and everyone is going to follow suit. So there's a countdown right now. And time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I almost crashed. Classic.
No, you're fine. Go Gators. So starting off here, we have a quick cutscene. We're going to get introduced to 2 Toon Resistance Rangers. This is Bumpy Bumblebear and Lauren Ordeer. These two are trying to... storm the CLO, and nothing bad is going to happen as a result. I also want to shout out really quickly, us two are on stream, but all 8 of the people in this boss fight is a group we all constructed in advance. So this is a full group of 8 people that we've all coordinated to do this showcase. I want to give a shout out to everyone in this group because this fight is hard, very late in the game, and long. So the first phase here, these laser Skelecogs accidentally get activated, and we want to deal with them as fast as we can. However, since there's a pretty hard fight coming up later, the goal of this phase is going to be to try and save our super good gags. So we're back to traditional Toontown controls here, which dictates we do have a capacity of gags that we're using. It ranges from level 1 to 8. Usually the strategy for this fight is trying to save your level 7s and 8s, but that's mostly what you're gonna see with the help of our first boss reward. Boss rewards are something that technically show up in Grindworks, but I never got one, so I never really got to explain what they do. Do you want to talk about what suing a cog means, Squirrel?
Yeah, so I'm suing. So we got these. I have a level 18 EXE on my field right now, 500 health. So I'm gonna sue it. So sue is a reward you get from this boss and the other non-overclock boss, but you need an attack to hit as the sue gets applied, and if that happens, then the cog can't do anything for 2 rounds. And there's a counter, like a turn counter, so like we have 2 rounds here until the cog gets unlured. If you just keep attacking the cog, the sue timer will stay up.
Yeah, these guys in particular are scary. In fights like this, we would very often want to use lure to stun the cogs for an extended period of time, so we're not taking damage a lot. But Skelecogs, and in particular virtual Skelecogs, have the virtual framework buff, which makes their health vary, but also makes them much more resistant to lure gags. So we can't really use those to mitigate the damage we would otherwise take in this phase as well as we could in other boss fights.
If you notice, these cogs are not like regular cogs, they're virtual, so we have to use like kind of big lure gags since they have so lure, when you lure, so like turns like Hypno Goggles is 4, instead of luring them for 4 rounds, they only lure for 2 rounds, and that is a constant. So like if I have presentation, which is 5 turns of lure, then it goes to 3 turns of like actual lure. Oh, what am I doing here?
Alright, and while they're working on this, I want to just give a quick reminder to chat that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel helps support Games on Quick Hotfix. So if you enjoy watching speedruns, please consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes. You can have ad-free viewing as well, and of course, you can chat with other subscribers during our replays.
Also, I said we might see it during Grindworks where gags have perk effect accuracy, but on my end, you just watched throw miss.
on my end. I just heard the miss. That was pretty awesome.
I'm going to use another boss reward here. This is a forge, or a counterfeit. It lets us create a gag that we can just add to our capacity mid-fight. It costs cog bucks, which we get from the chief financial officer, the Cashbot boss. But they're really nice. Per battle, you can only forge one of each gag. So I forged a stage light here, the level 6 zap, and I'm not going to be able to forge another one for the rest of the fight. Speaking of zap, though, that is actually a gag that is new to Corporate Clash that we have not talked about. It is a pretty complicated spread damage gag in which we have to use Squirt to apply the soak debuff. And then from there, we will be able to zap the cogs with electricity, and the zap can jump to 2 other cogs. So it kind of works similar in AoE to how sound did in Grindworks, but instead we have to set it up with a status effect, and it is one of the better damaging gag types in the game, instead of sound, which is usually one of the lower.
We had one more boss reward right there on my screen. We had some really bad cogs, so we fired both of them. So we go on cooldown, but they instantly are booted out of the fight.
Oh, and that's also something that's going to be very important in the next phase that we didn't talk about is cooldown. Just means if you use a boss reward, you cannot use another one for a set amount of turns. And since cogs stopped spawning here, that means we are at the end of phase 1 once we take out these cogs. Since this one is soon, we're going to take our time to not kill it instantly and make sure that we are all at good health entering phase 2. Because phase 2 is the hard part. Although the very fun part, too. We're raiding, yeah. Yeah. I always love speedruns of raid type stuff. I want to shout out to the group that performed Rabbit and Steel at SGDQ 2024. That was a really cool showcase.
Dude, I wonder who did that one. I'm sorry.
I wonder who did that one. So this is the end of the laser, or the virtual Skelecon phase. Now we're getting into the fun part. This is the litigation team coming up. So the litigation team is a team of 4 very strong manager lawbots that each side of these 8 tunes will split up into 2 groups of 4 and take out 2 each. And we can see a lot of people making calls in chat what fight they're going to be doing. Coral, do you think you're doing Steno Gator?
Yes. Wait.
You're doing Steno Gator!
I'll be Steno Gator. That's my favorite of all time. I'm really happy. Like, I'm so happy. So happy right now. I'm so happy, bro. I'm so happy.
So, yeah, based on the cutscene, we can tell which group is taking on what. On the right side, I'm going to be taking on Case Manager and Scapegoat, while Coral is going to be taking on Stenographer and Litigator.
Okay, guys, let's lock in. I have to type that to my team. Okay. Oh,
You can see the health numbers here are pretty high. 4,800 and 4,250 for my end. And instantly, also, the Scapegoat is going to start absorbing damage from the Case Manager. Oh, also, you're getting snapped already.
Yeah. Oh. Do you want to explain your side of cogs first, or should I?
Okay, so the Scapegoat and the Case Manager are the two managers I probably fight the least, honestly. I maybe understand the least about these two. The Case Manager is pretty support-based. He applies a damage over time debuff to a toon of his choice, and also heals other cogs that join the battle. Well, the Scapegoat is a little bit different. The Scapegoat will absorb damage from other cogs, and after absorbing enough damage, will get enraged, in which they take less damage and deal more damage. And also their lore resistance is lowered during this state. So their lore resistance is lowered during this state, so their lore will not be as effective as, or lore on that cog will not be as effective as usual. By default, both litigation team members can only be lured for 2 turns maximum. So right now, the Scapegoat will instantly unlure. Despite that, we are still going for a strat here where we're going to lure the whole team. But in particular, what we're doing is we are using a $50 bill on the Case Manager, which gives more knockback. And we are then going to use that extra knockback damage to do our best to just absolutely lay into him. Since this is a part of the fight where the Scapegoat is enraged, he will not be absorbing damage, and we can take this opportunity to do as much as possible into the Case Manager. His health is going to go from 3,700 to 2,200. It is pretty hard and expensive with rewards to set that up, but it is really worth it because the combination of manager effects in this fight is what gets really scary. Do you want to talk a bit about your 2 manager specifics? And also what you're doing right now?
So, she just banned level A gags twice in a row. That's really fun. So we got Steno and Gator. They kind of don't have like attack synergies with each other. They do, but like not as much as like they're just 2 good cogs. Like they just have good abilities. So Gator can spawn in cogs and can also unlure cogs if there's too many cogs on the field. And then Steno, or also Gator can snap if he gets soaked, which does more vulnerable. Which vulnerable is the toon that did the soak. And then Steno. Sorry, Maxwell. Steno can has a rising attack. Like she has an attack that ramps up more as the fight goes on.
Miss
So
Lore.
that's the audits. And also she can ban gags as shown right there because we still can't use level 8s. I love this boss. I love this combo actually. Oh, armor miss. Dogs. We're doing great. So left to right, I called for my team so that we hover like unites. Did we talk about unites yet?
No.
Okay, yeah. So, oh hey, audit. It's up to 28. So 28 damage next round, and also unite. So these are like really broken, but they put us on cooldown, so that's how they balanced it. It's our only source of healing outside of tune up and self heal throw that we can use outside of actual gag turns. So you might see them a lot because both start miss their lures.
Yeah.
It wasn't crazy, but like it could start to Could start something for the cogs. What's my team doing?
Oh, that cog lived because of the goat. Oh dear. Yeah, so I'm taking all the damage this turn for fun. But we have an overcharged cog now, so this is something that can happen when a cog heals enough. As you can see, the Legal Eagle has a purple light. That means it's overcharged. It's gotten so much health that it is at like 1.5 times its max health. So it now will do more damage and have more lore resistance. So that's really scary. We don't like that. But what we are trying to do right now is set up for another big gag combo, which is drop. So prestige drop, I mentioned drop as a gag during Grindworks, tends to be low accuracy but high damage. Prestige drop in this game adds buffs to the damage for each individual debuff on a cog. So our goal for doing big damage with drop is to stack multiple debuffs onto one cog here. Notably, the soak debuff from Squirt, which makes a gag more accurate. That allows you, I think it makes a gag more accurate and also allows Zap to work. The Dazed debuff from Trap does the same thing. And then there's also Mark, which applies when you use a throw gag and is just a defense down. So we're going to be going for a bunch of debuff stacking onto a cog to not only lower its evasion greatly, but also up the amount of damage our prestige drops will deal. And we also had a Barnacle Bessie come out, which is an IOU, which is a buff you can apply to certain gag tracks. And so Barnacle Bessie is going to be doing a bunch of extra damage to the drop gags of the tunes targeted with it. And using that damage, we can just straight out kill the case manager. This makes the scapegoat very scary, though. Because as I mentioned, with the managers getting lore resistance when they get in desperation after the first manager dies, Scapegoat is now completely immune to being lured while enraged.
Oh, you guys killed Case? I'm so happy for you guys.
Yeah, Case is dead.
Our third drop missed. Stop it! It's bro!
I love the presentation of this game. There's something very charming about it.
Yeah, I something to point out actually about that is compared to the textures from the original Toontown Online, the Lawbots have gone through massive redesigns, which makes me really happy that the boss we're fighting is a Lawbot boss, because these guys are a lot more expressive than they are in the original game right now. But I do love just the style of this game in general.
Okay, Steno's dead.
Nice. I just took 73 damage for fun.
So awesome.
While y'all are cleaning that up, I want to talk quickly about PAX East, because GDQ will be there. That is May 8th through 11th, and submissions are open right now, by the way, until March 23rd. That is this Sunday. So if you want to submit to be on the GDQ speedrunning stage at PAX East, you need to get your submissions in right now by Sunday. So you can visit submissions.gamesdonequick.com to submit, and accepted runners, will be provided an event badge as well.
Yeah, so here we're going to use the zap gag to get rid of these overcharges. At this point, we're already pretty deep into the fight. Both of us have one manager down. Both of us have explained a lot of our strategies. It's just a matter of taking out the scary guys and making sure we're doing everything right.
Yeah, I feel like we got kind of lucky that you two ended up in separate fights, so that both of them can be seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of lucky.
Shout out to Clash Team.
Shout out to Clash Team.
So you would think like the fight gets easier because there's only one guy, and then the one guy gets an extra turn of lure resist and also does 40% more damage. So like Lori took 72 damage for fun like 2 minutes ago, and then like my good mate Demand a Hug just took like 70 from one attack as well. It's not too crazy, except when your whole line of cogs starts from luring, and then you have like a combined 200 damage coming at your face.
We just missed a soak and a drop.
W Toontown. Wait.
Yeah.
Bashed. Is he gonna bellow? No, he would never. He would never kill us. I never know what to do here. I'm sending it away. We're gonna pre-unite, 3 drop, 1 wedding. This is all of our level 8s because Steno made us save them because she's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Gator gets hit with like 20 trillion damage. He might bellow.
Yeah. We're in a position that's just really awkward because the goat being enraged means we can't pre-lure. Or we can't lure him at all. So, like, we can't lure all these cogs simultaneously. But I'm hoping now that all of the cogs that were overcharged from Case Manager are gone from the fight, the cogs we just lured are going to stay lured for 5 turns with the presentation. So I'm hoping this gives us an opportunity to get a lot of damage onto the scapegoat before something becomes a problem again.
Free on lure on our side. This is crazy. How's your side doing? Our side has like half cogs like on the wrong lure cycle. I don't know how to feel about that.
The litigator being the main cause of cogs spawning is what makes your side especially scary.
Yeah. It's okay though. We've had to constantly just get rid of one cog. Lure left, kill right, if anyone knows. Lure left, kill right on the litigator, guys. Just to make sure that he doesn't bellow and just unlures everyone and then we all die.
Mm-hmm.
question in chat, by the way, asking how they are healing passively.
All Lori.
The enemies or the... We're healing through Unites, Tune-Up Gags, and Throw. The Throw Gag, we are prestiging it, which means we can use it to self-heal. Meanwhile, the enemies on my side were self-healing or passively healing while the case manager was alive, due to his buff, the insurance plan. But we have our second manager down, so we are going to take a few turns to get rid of these remaining cogs and heal up, and then we will just be waiting for the other side of the fight.
I'm flaming my team for being slower, except we got the hardest
Awesome.
pair, so it's all good.
Yeah, you definitely got the pair that is scarier. I also want to shout out Captain Maxwell saying, Demand a Hug saying, we got a bellow for content. No, you don't. That's a mechanic I don't think you guys mentioned. Did you mention bellow?
Yeah, I mentioned it briefly. I was busy explaining Bella while like everything missed, so it might have not been as great.
Yeah. So, bellow is when he wants to buy you bash, but the fight is full of cogs at 6. He will instead do buy you bellow, which gets rid of every negative effect that a cog has, including being Lord. So you get hit by a full round of 6 when a bellow happens. How much health is the litigator at here? 1126. I like the pre-trap. Are they trying to get on the table? They're trying to get on the table. Okay, I get to do something fun. So I'm playing Uno, also known as Tuno, because it's legally distinct.
I'm stuck here fighting the boring litigator and they get to play games. Like, what is this row?
No, it's okay, David. You can go. Oh, thank you,
What did they
David.
heal? Oh my.
There we go. I can change my camera angle. We can look at the boss fight.
I don't know what this is. Does this show? God, I don't know what this is. Oh, I got a hit. Oh, is he dead?
Oh, okay. Someone got +4. I'm lucky it wasn't me.
Wait, stop doing that. Okay.
Oh, I got +2. No, my Tuno. My Tuno speedrun is ruined. Did sushi ever unite?
That's awesome.
That's
dude.
a wild call out.
Sub 10 sushi, bro.
There we go.
Why is he hiding on his feet? Oh, good. Actually, no, I get it. It's for the self heal. Do you want to explain the T rounds after this? Or while you cook these guys in tuna?
We have cutscenes to talk about those. So
yeah.
in Tuno, there are 4 colors of cards: red, blue, yellow, and green. The cards can have a number from 1 to 10, and when it's your turn, you have to play a card with the same number or color as the one in the top of the pile. There are a few special cards, such as +2, which makes your opponent draw 2 cards, reverse, which reverses the turn order, skip, which skips the next person's turn, and also wild cards, which allow you to change the color. There's also the very rare but very devious wild +4, which not only lets you change the color to whatever you want, but also makes the next person in turns draw 4 cards. It's a game that's wildly changing and wildly going very fast, so sorry if I'm not the best at explaining it, but I think it's a lot of fun once you learn how to play it.
I love... Do you want to explain the next 2 rounds, and then you launch into... Instead of doing that, you launch into the most serious Tuno explanation you possibly could have. Thank you. It's important. Yeah.
Listen,
it's necessary.
I need everyone watching the stream who doesn't play this game to play this game. And if they want to play this game, I want them to know what they're getting into. I love Toontown a lot. And I think it's important to know the most important part of it. This guy's cheating. He won again. Oh, the fight's
That's
over.
crazy. It's a 2-0 run for David. Shout out to David.
It's a 2-0 run for David. So, yeah, now we're actually going to go into the next part of the fight.
Yeah.
Oops, I skipped. My bad.
It's fine. We need the 4 people have skipped. What the heck?
6 people skipped the intro.
So this is going to be the cannon round. We're done with traditional RPG fighting from now on. We have 2 more real-time action rounds coming up. So coming up next is the cannon round. This is going to be a pretty short round. I believe the timer is around 2 minutes. Yeah, so... Yeah, exactly 2 minutes. We're going to get in these cannons and start firing them at cogs. Whenever we hit a cog, you're going to see the meter on the right go up slowly. And depending on how many points you get, you collect evidence, I think it is, every time you hit a cog. And depending on how much evidence you end the round with, determines what sound gag you get for the final round, in which the stronger sound gag you get deals more damage. In this fight, it is 140 evidence to get the foghorn, which is the highest sound gag you can get in this fight. And hopefully, as many people as possible are going to get that.
I'll get it.
I believe in you. I'm getting kind of trolled, but it's fine.
No! Oh my god, I almost double shot the cog. It's a birthday too.
I should have whipped out my old keyboard so I was more confident on this. I replaced my keyboard 3 days ago, by the way.
Oh, you're gonna type on it for the manager showcase? It's so fun!
Oh yeah, I'm gonna typo so much during that. Trust me when I say the manager we're showcasing. Typing fast is a great skill to have.
You all know him, you all love him, I think. Maybe. Right.
You all love him or hate him lovingly.
No one can hate that guy. It's like...
True, especially not the fire starter.
True.
Alright, I got my foghorn, so I'm going to chill out as to not accidentally take a cog from somebody else.
Okay, I got it. Thank goodness the people on stream got it. Oh, wait. I'll get a fire in the air for fun. Woo. Slam dunk.
Alright. Coming up is the last phase of the fight. We're almost done. Oh my gosh, 193.
This guy just keeps winning.
So this is going to be the final round of the fight, and the most chaotic. If the litigation team was a slow, calculated difficult encounter, the sound round is a cacophony of a lot happening at once. So
I get it.
I didn't even mean to do that. Oh, welcome to Silly Sound, everybody! Let's go! So we are going to pick up sound from this barrel of evidence, and we get to use the sound gag that we got during the cannon round. The CLO is going to move around the floor, and also throughout the floor there are going to be traps placed down by the 2 NPC cogs. Bumpy is going to place down traps, and Lauren will prestige them, which makes them do more damage. We can also use taunting to lure weaker cogs around the arena to our position. Destroying a cog near the CLO will stun her, which will allow us to use our sound to push her into one of the traps. So that is the main way we're going to be dealing damage and defeating the boss here. But there's a lot to keep track of. She has these tornado attacks. At the start of a damage cycle, she has these defense specialists surrounding her that we need to defeat before we can stun her. She also has this jump attack that if you are on the ground when she lands, you're going to take a lot of damage. And there are also executive cogs, which can try to break the traps that we need to push the boss into. So that's like the general rundown of the boss, but it's...
Where are the cogs?
I don't know. I feel like we should get her out of this corner, but she is just chilling.
3 dry taunts. That's just tough.
And she spits. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button and taunting by accident. That's
There
fun.
we go. Maybe. There we go.
Did she stun? There it is.
Yeah. She went in the trapdoor. Or this press trap.
She's going into the press. So these darker pools of quicksand are the prestige traps that I mentioned. These are the ones that are going to deal more damage.
I jumped early.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also that thing I mentioned about the jump attack, this does not happen in the normal CLO, but in the overclock CLO, every time she lands back in the arena after falling in a trap, you have to jump. And when I first did this fight, I was on a really bad laptop. That didn't stun? There are also these spotlights around the room here that deal damage if you get hit by them, like that. You know, when I was explaining that, I was really hoping the spotlight would not move into me, but it is what it is.
Yeah, so the fight looks like pretty manageable right now, but like as the fight ramps up, he's gonna have more like beefier cogs to like not be able to get insta-stunned, and then there's just gonna be way more like cog spawns. So like when we spawn,
she's gonna
there's be,
attack
like,
much
10 at
faster.
once. There's gonna be more spinning. There's gonna be more. She's gonna move so fast.
Yeah. Oh, also, with me getting hit there, did I mention that the window for that jump attack to dodge it is really tight? Like, it's always hard to put a timing window into, like, good explanation on a Twitch stream where we have practiced this fight a lot, but, like...
I'm getting jumped.
That is a hard attack to dodge. Ooh, M Sushi did not jump.
Jumped in it.
My bad. I'm calling out my teammates. We destroy that executive, will it stun?
I just backed up into that spotlight. Me? Couldn't be me. It's like executive here. That didn't stun. That was unlucky. Don't get that. Yeah.
Nice.
That was my stun, and it was on stream.
I'm out of sound.
Now, we talked about executive cogs disabling traps.
Yes, one just did on my screen.
soon. Okay, good word.
So that trap is now a deep red, which means we can't use it. The CLO's pathfinding, when you get a stun, will try and push it towards the closest trap. If a trap is disabled already when she gets stunned, she will not pathfind towards it. However, if the trap she was actively pathfinding towards gets disabled, it will get consumed without doing anything to the boss when you bring her to it, and she will be unstunned instantly.
Oh, where's she going over here? I thought she was gonna go towards that pres. Wait, there's so many pres trapped on this side. What the heck?
Yeah, she's just like not been spawning on that side.
All 3. Me? What?
There's a con
I'm gonna
behind
taunt
me
in
that
front
might
of
be coming
David
in.
like a good teammate.
I accidentally taunted. I'm inside. Help.
Oh, I need to clear that guy. Oh, thank you, M2. Oh my god.
I think a different trap just broke.
Ow.
I'm hearing the sounds. But yeah, you can definitely see the damage going up and the higher level cogs spawning. Alright. Ow. I'm gonna run in here and pop a 30.
Thank you. Ow. Thank you.
And then I'm gonna accidentally taunt instead of...
Ow. Hypers there? Oh my days, I'm actually like getting rolled.
M-Sushi is almost dead and I'm on cooldown.
I'm on cooldown. I'm on cooldown. I need him to get this treasure. Oh my god. Oh, he's good. He's good. Over here. Ow! I'm taking this.
I'm getting throne books. Sorry, David.
I'm gonna pre-taunt. No, no, I'm not. I use my fog, my bad.
Oh, there's a cog going right towards her.
Oh, good.
She has to get pushed to the corner because that trap is still recovering.
I will play defense.
Thank you.
I'm such a good teammate. It's probably got so many people. Oh my god. Do not die. Oh my god.
Real quick, for those of you watching, if you enjoy speedrun or speedrun adjacent content and would like to support GDQ Hotfix, you can check out the 2024 Season 4 shirt at the yeti.com/GDQ. That is Yeti, YETEE. They're only on sale until Monday, so if you want to get one of those, time is running out.
Alright, 3 people taunted. What the heck just happened?
Oh my gosh.
That's tough.
Something
that was the best thing that could happen to me.
Something I haven't super mentioned is the attacks where the paper falls from the sky are coming from the attack specialist cogs. Those guys are pretty hard to take out when they are attacking, so they often just get to fly around the room and damage you. Well, I guess that's what damage specialists
They
do.
drop racks on you of law. Okay.
They drop bars,
Oh, I wish. Oh, I wish.
bar exams. All right,
Shut
so
up, that's
upcoming, this should be the last cycle here. 71 health is more than a trap usually deals to her. So the end of the fight is coming up really soon. I'll probably call time after the cutscene when the victory animation starts. So the cutscene will be in the timer.
Oh, I don't have sound.
We're pushing to a trap that is getting destroyed.
I believe in you guys. Nice. Okay. Everything's broken. What is this?
Yeah.
Where's she going?
Are we just pushing towards the trap door?
Yep.
Yeah. We probably will need an
I'm
extra stun.
taunting. No!
Nice!
Okay. I thought someone.
I'm so low on health.
Oh my days. GG.
And all right, yeah, so time will be at the end of this cutscene, which is pretty close.
199. I look like Tony Snow.
I got 197. So, unlike the original CLO, where the weight of the floor of the trapdoor gives out, in this fight, there's only one button that can drop the trapdoor. And we found it. And time.
Oh, I got an achievement. Oh, I maxed. Yeah,
Oh yeah, you maxed your Lobot
I
suit.
got it maxed. Funny.
Earl is now a bigwig level 50. So that's part of this we didn't describe. In this game, to fight these department bosses, you need to level up your cog disguise of a certain type. And you usually need to do that by getting a promotion, by getting merits, which you can get by defeating cogs of a certain type. Coral just maxed his Lobbot suit, now a big wig level 50. He never needs to get a Lobbot promotion on this tune ever again.
I'm seeing chat saying that I got the bow tie drop, so I'm gonna start bragging about it.
I don't think I got any new drops, but I do already have 3 of the litigation team stickers, so I'm really happy with that. And then for winning this fight, we get some of our cease and desists and our unites back.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Cool. GG.
So really quick, we will have one more small part of this showcase to do. But before that, I want to give a quick shout out because this fight that we're going to do after the break is going to go from an 8-person group down to a 4-person group. So I would like to give a shout out now to M Sushi, and then also David, Whooper, and Valley Ranch, the 4 tunes who joined us. Yeah, the 4 tunes who joined us in this fight who will not be coming to the next fight. This was really hard to coordinate, an 8-person group, while I was also in the middle of Frame Fatales just 2 weeks ago. So I want to shout out to you 3 who, and M Sushi who I did know, but the other 3, Whooper, Valley Ranch, and David, I did not know at all before like a week ago. So I want to shout out these 4 in front of me, that isn't Coral, the red dog, because I didn't know them at all, and we made sure we were all confident in this fight in a week, and we did a great job. So thank you all to you 4. I'll save my bigger list of shoutouts for after the next boss we're gonna do, but for now, Coral, do you have anything?
Shoutouts, Corporate Class, shoutouts Grindworks, shoutouts Toontown, and shoutouts Lori. Thank you once again for putting me on Hotfix. So awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to everyone. That's it.
Welcome back once again to GDQ Hotfix and Parallel Universe. I am Helix. This is the show about community-created content. I am here with Lori D. Bunnykins as we wrap up our Toontown showcase. What's going on, Lori?
All right, so the Overclock CLO that we just did was the big draw of this game's 1.2 update. Now we're moving up an update to Corporate Class 1.3. I believe it's called Hires and Heroes. Sorry if I forget that. Hires and Heroes is an update that introduced 16 new bosses called managers, 2 for each of the game's 8 playgrounds, which are the game's like major locations that you continue the story in. And this is the last playground's kudos manager, which means you have to finish the main story and then do a lot of side questing to get here. And it is a very worthy final challenge. Time will start when the elevator closes, and we are going to hop in. And let's go. Sorry, I meant to count that one down.
Don't just skip the cutscene.
I won't skip the cutscene, will you?
I almost did.
This cutscene is awesome. So we are entering the layer, I guess you can call it, of the pace setter. The pace setter is honestly, genuinely one of my favorite bosses in a game in recent memory. So I'm super excited to show this one off.
It's so good.
For those that know Toontown a lot, or maybe those who don't know anything about it and started learning about it today, this is a great test of your skills and your knowledge. We've done a lot of very complicated things. This fight is not so complicated. So
No, it's easy. You just do what he tells you to do.
yeah, we just do what we're told. So the pace setter is going to challenge us to the pacer test. He is going to see if we can match his skills in running, I think.
Speedrunning.
Yeah, we'll be fine. So the fight starts.
I'm
We're gonna
kidding.
forge
I would
gags.
never. Sorry to like the one person that wanted to overclock.
So immediately we're gonna forge our biggest gags and start dealing damage. As you can see, this guy has 12,500 health. The litigation team members that we fought during the overclock CLO all have health pools in the 4,000s. So this is a lot of health.
All right, he wants us to do lore, so I will do it, and I called green in chat for my teammates. Whoa, what is that?
That is a big guy on the left. So yeah, no, the pace setter just told us to use lore, so we used lore this turn. Pretty simple, right? We're gonna get a lot of damage here. He's already down 2,000 health from his starting. 2,000 health in 2 turns, that means the fight's only, what, 12 turns? Something like that.
Okay, I'm using pink. I'm not gonna troll, but if I wasn't on stream, I would hit the pace, and then it would miss, and then we would get rolled, but it's okay. Oh my days.
Oh my goodness.
Are you so right for that, actually? Hold on. I wish you am.
Alright, yeah, so the main strategy of this fight is this boss has so much health and deals so much damage that you basically want to target them down as much as you can. However, sometimes they don't always let you. For example, this turn we have to use drop on this robber baron. But that's no big deal. We can do that. And whenever we're already fulfilling all of our jobs, we can spend the rest of our resources on dealing damage on the pace setter. I can't do what I wanted to do this turn, so I'm just going to do this. Yeah, I think that's fine. The pace setter also has 1-turn lore resistance, so it will not stay lured at all between rounds. It will instantly unlure. So we do need to be careful with that. We always want to make sure we're hitting the pace setter in some way, because if it's ever lured without doing anything of note, that's just kind of a waste.
This guy loves getting the job. Are we making it to content sync?
I think so. I don't know what the threshold is, but I feel like our damage is pretty good.
It's been okay.
So, as you've noticed, every turn, at the end of every turn, this fight is getting faster. And on this turn, he is going to use Content Sync, which randomizes the order that the gags activate.
What is this order? This order is kind of... What? Wait, ooh.
Are you gonna pick someone? So the content sync not only... No, that's cool. The content sync not only shuffles the order that the gags are in the menu, it does also shuffle the order that they are used. So that's something we have to keep in mind if we ever want to lure cogs to stun them or do certain things.
Yeah, lure safe.
If we ever want to stun them or do certain things, we have to pay close attention to the gagger. So for example, here I am using sound, which is an AoE attack, because our cogs that are stunned from lure we had one that was unluring this round. But since sound was before lure instead of after, like usual, I was able to unstun them with the sound, and then we could re-lure them later in the turn. So...
Wait. Oh, wait, never mind.
You know, I think that tune-up was a good idea.
No, I forgot. I didn't see the throw, like I'm blind.
But yeah, we've talked about the rush jobs. We've talked about content sync. We talked about the fight speeding up. We've also talked about this after every turn, the pace setter can shuffle the order, or shuffle the position of the cogs here. That's pretty much the whole fight. It doesn't really change much from here. It's just gonna, get faster.
Yeah.
We are speedrunners.
Yeah.
Before things get too quick, make sure you all join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role. There you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. And of course, you can use !Discord in our Twitch chat for more info.
Alright, good damage turn there. We got 3 sound. Something we didn't talk about with corporate clash sound, because we did not use it in the last fight at all, is that when we use it, we get a buff called Encore that helps us deal more damage.
I don't know the order. I forgot the order. Oh.
Okay.
No.
I'm straight up lying.
Trap? I'll do it. Oh, I won't do it. Oh, that is so tough. I didn't choose a gag. I'm lost.
You didn't.
What is not safe? Wait, no, it was safe.
So every time we do a rush job, we get inflicted, or fail a rush job, we get inflicted with a debuff called Hurry Sickness, which for a turn makes us weaker. So we don't want that. And also we get damaged when we fail a rush job, and that damage increases every turn or every time. So we super don't want that.
I think that's the last thing we'll see
Yeah.
of that. I'm cranking. Everyone's low.
I
Stop.
don't have sound available to me. So I'm just going to drop.
Oh.
Oh, also there was one more mechanic. I lied. After a little while, on top of content sync, there will also be gag bans. One gag from each track will be banned. So we cannot use that specific one. So it's just another thing to react to as the fight speeds up.
That was a good turn. Wow, I just hit. Never mind.
Yeah, I totally didn't waste my boulder.
Down below 6,000 health now. Oh.
The sound is more safe. It is, thank goodness. Oh, I can forge.
Hurry up, hurry up.
I can't click the magnet, man. Like, let's get serious.
So now we're really getting into the swing of things. How much health is he at?
5.1? 5.2. 5.1. So great. Oh, what a great order.
Yeah. So I mentioned we've kind of learned everything, right? The bands, the order shuffle, the cogs rearranging, the rush jobs. It's time for the final test.
Oh yeah, he breaks the guitar for no good reason. I don't know why I did that. Catch-up ball is crazy. I say sound? Yeah. Oh. How great.
We need... Okay. You know what, that's fair.
Ah, we're fine. I never get punished.
Someone pointed this out, but not only are you, doing the fight this fast at this point, but you're also commentating and also communicating with your team.
It's a lot. Sorry if I stopped talking on stream as much at this point. We've already explained a lot of the fight, and it's moving fast.
No, it's perfectly understandable.
Please, nope, never mind. Yeah. This hits. God, no.
Also, for reference, the squirt spread damage counts as hitting a cog with squirt. So when we get 2 squirt jobs there, we can do that.
Oh, this one is just incredible. Oh, I missed the soak reset. Call me a fraud.
I mean, we had the job. It's fine.
I will soak.
There's so little time to even read the instructions now.
Yeah.
No, we use arrows. It's all arrows at this point. The text is just so fast.
Yeah, arrows and, like, vibes.
Check it out! Throw last order. W's in chat for the throw last.
Yeah. So throw last is good because it means we get the knockback damage when we do throw.
I got it.
Thank you.
I'm over.
Some stats in chat for those curious. They're pointing out that this is currently less than 7 seconds per turn.
There we go. Sorry, I really want to do the shark there. I want to do the shark there so bad.
I think that's something I've half explained. When you're aiming at a cog who has a rush job on them with the gag in question, it has perfect accuracy. That does not apply to soak spread damage. So if a cog has a zap order and you try and soak it with the cog next to them, that is not guaranteed. So you can go on that gamble and miss, and the zap won't come out because the cog is dry, and that gives you hurry sickness.
That's fun.
Both. Okay, good. You. But we are heading into the last 1,000 health.
That's a big one.
I don't think Bree selected that.
Can we kill?
I don't know.
Whoa, where did that guy come
I would
from?
lure.
Check it out. Check that
Maybe.
forge. That forge might have killed me.
Yeah. No, it's fine. We got a lure up.
Okay.
So everyone's gonna be lured except Pace. I just healed the only person that was really at low health. That guy on lures.
Awesome. Whoa. Crap. I need a tune-up or... Wait, you're
Tune-up
on
or lure?
cooldown. Never mind. W high dive.
W high dive. So the boss is
That's
almost
so
dead
tough.
here. We will need to defeat all the other cogs that are still around the fight. once the main boss dies, but
I'm going in.
I don't know where my drop is. This is the best one I can use.
Okay, good. What if it kept speeding up and we all died? Like, that would have been cool. Oh my god, wait, the same miss.
Maybe I shouldn't have used the anvil. Oh, we get the trap in front of them. So when you trap a cog, the indicator that they're trapped just becomes part of their model. So yeah, sorry if you do not fully understand what happened. Neither do we, and we have done the fight. You've done it over 200 times, right, Coral?
209. Fly high Claire de Lune.
Yeah, so for context, all of the managers introduced in the 1.3 update of this game have their own rare drops. Some of them are cosmetic, some of them are stickers. There are people who have already done, like, they got all of the drops within like 30 or so fights and have still gone on to do over 200. I think it is a testament to just how cool this boss is. I do think it does warrant that amount of replayable ability because it is really intense and it's a really fun kind of intense. I joked about you guys needing to use the mechanic you've learned throughout this stream, but I think especially a game that was online for 10 years, died and came back, and a boss that came in like 10 years after the original Toontown went out of service. That's time, by the way. This is such a cool showcase of how to make the same game completely different. And I absolutely love this fight. Also, what my teammates... Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to ask you to shut them out, so yeah, go ahead.
My teammate is asking me about our gag order. Something I didn't explain, we did switch our gags between fights. In Corporate Clash, you can respec pretty easily from your book. And you can use 2 gag points to have a gag track, and then another one to prestige it, which gives it a bonus effect. Pretty often, and what a lot of us did in the Overclock CLO fight, was people will use 6 unique gag tracks and 4 prestiges. But we all, for the pace setter, will use 7 gag tracks with 2 prestiges in order to have more coverage in case a bad rush job breaks out. And also, just like, if someone runs out of a gag, more people have it ready on backup. With that explained, though, that is going to be the end of the Toontown showcase today, so I can do what I've been doing for the past 2.5 hours and talk a lot. First off, I want to shout out GDQ for having us. We had this game 2 years ago on a Hotfix show that was... We were the final episode of that show. It was dangerous to go alone. So I want to shout out for the opportunity to show this game off back then and also again. This game, after Hired and Heroes, the newer content has slowed down a little bit, but that's totally fair. Hired and Heroes is one of the coolest updates to anything I've ever seen, and they have been posting development work, working on their new updates that are quite honestly going to be incredible. I can't wait for them. I want to shout out the Clash team again for working on them a lot. I want to shout out the Grindworks team. I played Grindworks earlier. They're doing a great job. I also want to shout out all the other Toontown servers that there are too many to name. Rewritten, obviously, is the one most... the biggest one and the one most based around the original, but there's also games like Desert Storm, Event Horizon, which I believe is still in development, and so many others that I can't name because I unfortunately am employed and it is hard for me to play so many MMORPGs, or rather so many versions of the same MMORPG, but I really want to shout out the work the creators do because this is Parallel Universes. You know, this is a show about fan-made content, and that's why I really love the opportunity to play this game on here, because this is a game that, again, the official version has been out of service for 11.5 years, and still so many people are playing it, making new things for it, sharing it around all they can. It's one of the most passionate communities ever, maybe just objectively, and I am so honored to be the one to show this off to the GDQ stream twice now, and I hope that if you played this game when you were younger or you didn't, you want to give it a shot, because I absolutely recommend it. That's all I have to say, because I could talk for hours, honestly. But just thank you, everyone who showed up, everyone who supported me, the stream, literally anything. I can't thank anybody enough. But especially shout outs to the teams of people who made this game. Several of the Clash team are surrounding us now. Coral, do you have anyone in particular?
No, not really. This one was you. I just like kind of walked in. Thanks for the opportunity.
Well, thankfully, this is not the last episode of Parallel Universe. I mean, Laurie said it best. This is what Parallel Universe is about: showcasing fan-made content, because there are so many, passionate people, passionate communities who work on this sort of stuff, and it really needs to be shown off more. So I love that Parallel Universe is able to do that. With that said, I need to shout out the co-host of Parallel Universe, Limey, for putting this episode together. Unfortunately, they're sick today. I hope you feel better soon, Limey. So I stepped in to host this one. But normally we trade off episodes. And, if you want to see more Parallel Universe, if you want to see more community-created content by passionate people, this show airs every other Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/games, done quick. Please make sure you check out the rest of the Hotfix roster. There's lots of excellent stuff. If you missed out on any of this Toontown showcase or do all the things that are right before this, stay tuned, as we will replay both shows right after this. And you can tune in tomorrow and Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern for the Mystery Tournament Top 8. Over 100 players battled it out to make it to the Mystery